the graded notes that we did involve graphing ordered pairs in this table. So that looks like this in this graph right here. For the blue lines, 0, 0 is the first point, and then 1, 2 is the second point, and then the dots continue, the ordered pairs continue, and then connecting those dots made a graph of a proportional relationship because it's a straight line coming from the origin. This is the equation that goes with this line right here. Okay. A proportional relationship is a straight line and it starts from the origin. This is what I need you to write down. You need all of this written down here. I'm explaining it as I go back and forth to this other graph. So a proportional relationship is a straight line from the origin, just like this blue line is a straight line from the origin. To explain this, we made a story about Abby. And Abby was like a therapist for doctors. She was super well educated, and she helped doctors who were burned out, who were frustrated and stressed out. This K right here represents 1,000. So in order for a doctor to come to Abby and have 1 hour with her to talk about things and to get to help get unstressed out or to get relaxed so they could do their job again, she charged $2,000. So the ordered pair right here, when x equals 1 and y equals 2, that means 1 hour they pay $2,000 to talk to Abby. This equation right here, y equals 2,000x, that is the equation that matches the charges Abby does when doctors come to her office to see her there. Okay, that's what this is about. When doctors come and visit Abby at her office, it's a proportional relationship. The point 0, 0 on that graph means the doctors have not spent any time with her yet, so they don't owe any money. Maybe they're at the front door of her office, but then they decide to leave, so they don't actually spend any money because they don't spend any time talking to her. That is the origin. The straight line is the 2,000 per hour. That's the cost per hour. The cost per hour doesn't change. As you see, it continues up. The equation of a proportional relationship can be written in the form y equals kx, where x is the input, y is the output, and k has all of these names. It is the constant of proportionality, it's also the unit rate, it's also the slope, it's the rise over run, and it's the rate of change. And you can solve for k by doing k equals y divided by x. So, for instance, if you had this equation right here, 6 equals 2 times 3, but then pretend we didn't know this, so we'd said 6 equals k times 3. If you didn't know, and this problem is obvious, but if you didn't know, you could divide by 3 on both sides, and then you would have k equals 6 divided by 3, or y divided by x. So that's how you solve for k. Now, Abby helps the doctors who are broken, right? But sometimes they visit her at her office. That's the blue line. The blue line is starting at 0, 0 because they don't have to pay anything to visit her. 0 hours, because x is time. 0 hours means $0 because the y value is the money. But sometimes the doctors are so broken that they need Abby to travel to them. So this red graph shows what happens when Abby visits the broken doctors. They're just so stressed out by their work being a doctor that they can't even get out of bed. So Abby will come and talk to them and help them. So, but it costs. It costs $5,000 for Abby to travel because she travels in style. She has her own helicopter, her own Ferrari, whatever she wants. She has it. So there is never a point 0, 0. You have 0 hours and you still have to pay $5,000. This is the traveling fee, and you pay that one time, but it's still $5,000. Okay? It is just one time, but it's the cost of having her travel to you. So, this is where the graph would start. If you spend 1 hour, then you have to pay $7,000. That's a 7 right there. So 1 hour means $7,000. So that means that the slope of the line is still the same. Y equals 2,000x. That's still the slope here, and the slope is the same here. Okay? This red line is a linear non-proportional relationship. Linear means it's a line, okay? It's a straight line, but it does not start at the origin. It could start up and then it goes up. This equation right here is called slope-intercept form. B is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the place on the y-axis where the line crosses the y-axis. M is the slope. Okay, the slope is still the same. Change that color to green. The slope is still the same as the constant of proportionality. And y is still the output. That's also the same. But this is slope-intercept form because it has a slope and it has a y-intercept. So all of this work right here on this page is what you need to have on your paper for the graded notes. The notes are called slope-intercept form graded notes. Thank you. Please talk to Mr. Ames if you have any questions.